Good morning, all.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, sir.
You can raise your hand. So today, hope you have shot your homework. Most of the students have uploaded. If you have any doubt, if you have come across any doubt while solving the homework problems, you can ask. Okay, so if no doubts, then let's start with balance sheet problems, because we have already finished with profit and loss account problems. So today we will be moving towards balance sheet problems, and they are also very easy. So starting with, come to page number 113. Yesterday we were in the same page number. So today also we will be starting with page number 113, which speaks about comparative balance sheet. Okay, so to tell you about comparative balance sheet, first I want to let you know that, hope you remember comparative profit and loss account. The procedure remains same, but only the formats get converted from profit and loss to balance sheet. Okay, so if you remember, we discussed the balance sheet format, that is Roman 1 shareholder, Roman 1 equity and liabilities, then shareholders fund, share capital. The same format will apply, but the technique remains same. What was the technique? Column 2 minus column 1, and the resultant should be divided by column 1. So the same process will be continued here also, but only the format will change. So without wasting time, so let us start today's discussion with the problem number 1. The following is the balance sheet of Alpha Limited as at 31st March 2016 and 2017. Particulars, that is equity, share capital, reserves and surplus. We know that there are separate heads for equity, share capital and reserves and surplus. The next is long-term loans. There is a head called long-term borrowings. Under that we need to take. Current liability is again a separate head, so no doubt at all. Next is fixed assets. Then we have non-current investment. If you remember, we used to consider it under under the head non-current assets. So that is non-current investment. And then next is term loans and advances. Under this, he has not mentioned whether it is short term or long term, but we can assume anyone. So better what we will do is, we will consider it as long term and we will take it under the head non-current assets. Okay, so if you consider it as short term, then you need to take under the head current assets. If you consider it as long term, then you need to take it under non-current. Okay, so let's start solving the problem. First, I request all of you to write heading, that is in the books of Alpha Limited. In the books of Alpha Limited. In the books of Alpha Limited, balance sheet as on balance sheet as on 31st March 2016 and 2017. Then next you write, sorry, it's not just balance sheet. Before that, you add one word, that is comparative balance sheet. Comparative balance sheet. Okay. Next is, now you draw 3 columns. First 31/3/2016, the next 31/3/2017, the next is increase decrease rupees, the next is increase decrease percentage. Increase decrease percentage. Okay, now starting with Roman 1. Equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. After that, English number 1. Shareholders funds. Shareholders funds. And in that shareholders funds, A is share capital, and we know that in the problem it is given as 2 lakh and 4 lakh. 2 lakh and 4 lakh. The next is B, reserves and surplus. Reserves and surplus, that is 1 lakh and 1,50,000. Number 2, non-current liabilities. These are the same heads. Non-current liabilities. Under that, I write long-term borrowings. Long-term borrowings. And the long-term borrowings amount is 2 lakh and 3 lakh. Two lakh and 3 lakh. Next, number 3, current liabilities. Again, underline. I think directly current liabilities is given. Hence, I will take it as 1,20,000, and the next one is 1,70,000. 1,20,000 and 1,70,000. So, if we finish all, we can take the total, and the total will be, see, even though the total is available in the question, better you take the total, because if you make any mistake also, you come to know. So the first is 6,20,000, and the next is 10,20,000. 10,20,000. Just check whether it is right. Next, Roman 2. Roman 2. Roman 2 is assets. this we write total. Okay, next Roman 2 assets. And in that asset, number 1 is non-current assets. In that, A, fixed assets. A is fixed assets, and the amount of fixed assets is, I will write AB so that later on I can go that side and write amount. B is non-current investments. Non-current investments. C is long-term loans and advances. So the fixed asset is 2 lakh, 5 lakh. Non-current investment is 1 lakh, 1,25,000. Then long-term loans and advances is 65,000. I think 70, right? 65,000 and 70,000, right? Next is number 2, that is current assets. Current assets, and it is directly given in the problem, 2,55,000. And one more is 3,25,000. 3,25,000. Okay, so now the next is the total of this. I think it is 6,20,000, and then it is 10,20,000. Hope all of you have noted this. It is the same,
Yes, sir.
what we did in the 6 marks problem. I request all of you to switch on your camera. Amit Kulkarni, Megha Dhani, I'm seeing your camera is not on. I have kept 2 systems to monitor you whether you have kept your camera on. Even I'm asking Vaishali DL also to on her camera. See, there is nothing which is to be hidden here, right? You're not doing anything wrong. You can mute your mic, but you keep your video on. Okay, so once you noted down this, the next process is, I said, first it should be column 2 minus column 1, and then the resulting amount should be divided by column 1. So all of you keep ready your calculators. I like to see your calculator, show your calculator whether it is there with you or not. Very good. Now, if we start 4 lakh minus 2 lakh, there is an increase. So there is no need to write plus. If there is negative, then you need to mention it. So the difference is 2 lakh. Then 2 lakh should be divided by 2 lakh. That gives us 100%. That is 100.00. Hope you have understood. The next is 1,50,000 minus 1 lakh. So there is a positive change of 50,000. Then 50,000, when you divide it by 1 lakh, it comes to 50%. 50.00. Next, 3 lakh minus 2 lakh. Remember, column 2 minus column 1. 3 lakh में से आप 2 lakh निकालेंगे तो कितना आएगा? 1 lakh. 50.00. 50.00. Next is 1,70,000 minus 1,20,000. That comes to 50,000. 50,000 and 50,000 divided by 1,20,000. I think it will be 40.
41.67.
Okay, 41.67%.
7.
Clear? Next, 20,000, it will be 4 lakh. And this 4 lakh to be divided by 6 lakh 20,000 percentage. 64.52. 64.52. Hope you have understood it till now.
Yes, sir.
Next is 5 lakh minus 2 lakh is 3 lakh. There is a positive change. And this is 0.00. You can check 3 lakh divided by 2 lakh percentage, you get 150.00. Next, 1,25,000 minus 1 lakh, that leads to 25,000. And this 25,000 should be divided by 1 lakh. That gives us
25.
25.00. Next, 70,000 minus 65,000. That is 5,000. And 5,000 divided by 65,000 percentage.
7.69.
Okay, 7.69. Okay, next is 3,25,000 minus 2,55,000. That will be 70,000.
20,000.
And this 70,000 should be divided by 2,55,000.
27.45.
7.45.
4.5.
4.5 के बाद क्या है?
4.0.
Then exactly 7.45. And next वाला मत कीजिए, ऊपर आपने already करके रखा है, that is 4 lakh difference. And the percentage will also be same. That is 65. और इतनी फालतू काम करने के लिए आपको एग्जाम में 12 मार्क्स दिए जाते हैं. Whether all of you have noted down? Okay, can we start with the next problem? That is problem number 2. Problem number 2 is very not that very easy. Okay, मैं खुद solve करा देता हूँ. देखिए, the problem number 2 is from the following information prepare comparative position statement, which is nothing but balance sheet. He has given share capital, general reserve. We know that both should be taken under the head share capital and reserves and surplus. Then next we have secured loans, which comes under the head long-term borrowings. And we have current liabilities. Then we have building machinery stock. Building and machinery should come under tangible assets. Stock, that is nothing but inventory. Then next is trade receivables. Okay, so let's start with the solution. First, you write the heading, that is in the books of dash dash. In the books of dash dash. Balance sheet as on then. Balance sheet as on date, I think they have not given or given. Just check whether problem mentions the date. The problem, yes, it has mentioned the date. So what you can write is as on 31/3/2016 and 2017. And I request you to draw 4 columns. 4 amount columns. 1. Actually, that the heading has to be comparative balance sheet, not just balance sheet. 4 amount columns. Again, the column names remain same. 31/3/2016, 31/3/2017. मैं आपको और एक आज नाम बताऊंगा जो आप लिख सकते हो यहाँ. That is, it is called as absolute change. याद रखिए, absolute change rupees. The next is absolute change percentage.
Percentage.
And increase of rate can also be written as absolute change rupees and absolute change percentage. So starting with Roman 1, equity and liabilities. Under that, number 1, shareholders funds. Shareholders funds. And even that need to be underlined. In that, A, share capital. If I write only the names, can you write the corresponding amounts? Because I want to write in detail for asset side, because asset side is little bit complicated. So that's why here I just mentioned the heads. Can you write corresponding amounts in the amount columns?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. A, share capital. Okay. In the amount columns you write. First column 4 lakh, second column 5. You have written reserves
Yes,
and
sir.
surplus. Reserves and surplus. So what you need to do is, they have not given directly reserves and surplus. There is general reserve. In that case, what you need to do is, you need to show that separately. Under the head reserves and surplus, you need to write general reserve. Or what you can do, wherever only one item is there, you can directly write. Okay, for example, now if we have only general reserve, so in general reserve you write 50,000 and 60,000 in front of that. आगे आप लिखिए 50,000 and 60,000. Okay, next you write
Yes, sir.
number 2. That is non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities. Under that, A is long-term
Borrowing.
borrowings. Under that, you have only one head, so in bracket you write secured loan. In the bracket you write secured loans. So what is the amount of secured loan?
15,000, 20,000.
15,000. Prabhakar's camera is not on. Next. Number 3. Current liabilities. Current liabilities. And it is to be directly taken because directly they have given. So what is the amount of current liabilities? One lakh, sorry, not 1 lakh, 50,000, 70,000. 50,000, 70,000. Okay. Now, you can take the total.
Five lakh 15,000.
Okay, 5 lakh 15,000 and 6 lakh 50, I think. Brother.
6 lakh 50,000.
Yes, 6 lakh 50,000.
50,000.
Very good. Next is
Yes, sir.
Roman 2. That is assets. One, two, that is assets. In that, number one, non assets.
अर्धा तास आधीच
Under that, A assets. Again, that also need to be underlined. Under that small Roman one, that will be tangible assets. And even that need to be underlined because under that we have two. That is, number one is buildings. Number two is
Machinery.
machinery. Buildings, you can write 2 lakhs. Then 2 lakh 50,000. Then machinery 1 lakh 50,000.
2
Then
lakh.
next number 2 assets. Current assets. Now, under the current first one is